What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. Today, just recently, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Miami Dolphins 33-24, and this last drive from the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, was it was really special. And it kind of flies under the radar because it's not the biggest drive in the world, but it is a big game. They clinched the AFC West, hopefully clinch that number one seed so they get that bye. But just a couple of things in this video that I think are really interesting is, the different ways that teams will play in crucial situations, right? Like, for instance, this 2nd and 10 to kind of start this drive, how far off the defensive backs are playing. We'll get into that in just a second. And just kind of how the Chiefs take advantage of that, and really why there's, not a lot of really good ways to play Kansas City. And the Dolphins played really well against Patrick Mahomes today. Picked him off 3 times. So anyway, we're going to get into that probably a little bit later when the game film comes out. I'll really dive into this, but I do want to just take a look at this final drive really quick. Before I dive in, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to my channel, The Hook Cam, as well as to Jackson Kruger Sports. That would mean the world to both of us. Now, starting things off, this 2nd and 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. They come out and empty. Okay, and I think I've explained this before. Here's the 2 at the top in case you can't see. I think I've explained this before. Teams go into what they call empty check, right? And what that means is that if an offense comes out and empty, you're going to be able to catch a team in a certain coverage that they want in response to this empty. Now, for the Dolphins, to me, it looks like it's going to be cover 3. Personally, I don't know why they're in this, especially with the situation. This to me just looks like a prevent defense. Like, let's drop everybody back. Let's rally to anything underneath. They're going to drop off with a couple of their backers right here. But this is just asking for trouble, especially with a dude like Clyde, right? And even if it's not Clyde, if it's any back in the league who's not, your classic, like, power back, I don't understand why you're giving this dude 11 yards of space. This just doesn't make sense to me. And that's just something really easy that Patrick Mahomes and, any other quarterback in the league is going to be able to take advantage of. And then what's phenomenal to me about this is that they turn around and they do it, 2 or 3 plays later. Right, they're not 11 yards off. Well, at the top of the screen they kind of are, right? But at the bottom right here, you're just picking off these guys, right? And I don't understand why they lined up 8 yards off like this. This is just asking for trouble, and you're really not putting any pressure on Patrick Mahomes to do anything special, right? It's just like, hey, be an intellectual football player, see where your off coverage is, and attack it. Now, this is kind of where the rubber meets the road for the Chiefs in this game against the Dolphins. 3rd down and 1, really good job from the Dolphins in this situation, right? Chiefs are trying to go with their inside zone. Really solid job from the Dolphins, covering up all their gaps. We're going to get a work right here with the backer. He's coming to fill in this backside A gap. He's working head up with this defensive tackle right here. This one tech, I believe, is working into that A gap. Clyde sees that we have pressure in that, and he tries to bounce it play side, and a really good job from those defensive linemen of the Dolphins to keep Clyde from picking up that 1st down. And then we move on to this 4th down, right? And when I was watching this, I was sitting there thinking, what coverage were they in on the 3rd down, even though it was a run play? What coverage were they lined up in? And how would, me as an offensive guy, how would I look to call my 4th down play? Because this is, a go-for-it situation, right? You don't really want to punt. You're giving him 3 minutes left to play. You might as well just give it to him at the 40. Also, you trust your offense to get that 1st down, right? So at the bottom of the screen here, we have the Chiefs in a bunch set, right? And obviously, we all know what that is. And they're just pretty much manned up to cover this thing up. And really how they would probably work it is they would exchange it, right? Whoever works to the outside here, this DB would take. He's going to friction with that number 1, and then he's working for that number 3. But again, like, whoever works to the outside, I think that's how they combo things in that bunch set defensive back-wise. But what the Chiefs do, and I think this is kind of clever on their behalf, is that they know if they go with that bunch set on 4th and 1, they're probably going to get that coverage again. Now, they're not going to, the Miami Dolphins aren't really going to change their coverage based off of the formation, right? If it's 4th and short, 3rd and short in the NFL, you're always going to get man. And I agree with that, but at the same time, I don't, right? This is a very, very simple coverage that we're in right here. We got straight-up man coverage. And really what you're anticipating, right, is the Chiefs to try and pound the rock, inside zone, power, duo, whatever, try and pick up that 1st down. And what the Chiefs do is they work a really simple pick route. And this is kind of that, that playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. You got to be 1 or 2 steps ahead. Really, really good call from the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Bieniemy. But this is just your classic rub route right here. All we're going to get is Kelsey working up and literally stopping right there, trying to friction a little bit with this guy, try and get in his way, but not make it look like you're making that much of an effort. Good route by Tyreek, just working to that open space. Nobody's going to stick with him. Nobody's going to stick with him in the NFL working out into that open space. Really, really simple pick play, right? And then he takes it, turns it upfield for a big-time gain, and then we put the Chiefs in field goal range. And when we work onto this 3rd and 21 right here, I think a lot of times with, younger quarterbacks, you could see them working. They feel like they have space, feel like they got time, and maybe they try and force something. 15 does the right thing here, just fall down, pick up a yard or two for us. But what I do think is interesting on this 3rd and 21 is you have the Dolphins in man coverage again, just straight up trying to lock up man. And if the Chiefs, I think that if they would have put a double move on that, they probably could have picked up some yardage, but you're not going to try that as a coach with, a minute left in the game, 2 minutes left in the game. You never know what could happen. But all in all, just good football on this last drive from the Kansas City Chiefs. A couple of things that I wanted to point out. I'll be back later in the week really kind of breaking down this game. I really want to look and see what the Dolphins were doing to kind of force 15 into some mistakes. Game was a lot tighter than a lot of people expected. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be tight just because of the coaching staff in Miami. Flores does such a good job down there, and they're building something special in Miami. I really do believe that. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just a quick one going over the Chiefs' last drive. Hope everybody's staying safe, washing those hands, and I will see you next time.